Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the new Kidrobot South Park The Fractured But Whole vinyl mini series figures. In this review, Spot's going to have a look at an entire case of figures, which consist of 4 down, 5 across. That gives us a total of 20 figures, or 20 boxes in this instance. Now, number of figures, you're looking at a total of 12. So there's a good chance, fingers crossed, there's a good chance that we're going to get ourselves the entire set. What do the set of figures consist of? Well, let's look at one of the individual boxes, and then we'll proceed with opening them all up. The front of the box features Cartman here. I love Cartman here as the coon. And there's the coon, and behind him is the human kite. The side of the box shows you the characters that are in this set, consisting of Mysterion, human kite, General Disarray, Captain Diabetes, Mint Berry Crunch, Professor Chaos. On the other side, Question Mark, the coon, Tool Shed, Call Girl, Super Craig, and Mosquito. On the underside of the box, you can go to www.fracturedbutwhole.com. You can also go to www.kidrobot.com. This is recommended for ages 18 and up. Again, Spot's going to open up an entire case, so certainly sit down. This is going to be a bit of a longer video, as we always do when we do the uncasings here. But we're going to open up all 20 boxes and find out which figures we're going to get inside. If you are also wondering where you can find these for yourself, check out your local comic book store. You can also head over to Kidrobot's website, where they also do sell these sets as well. Individual boxes, or in this case, an entire case. That being said, we're going to grab Hank here. Hank's going to be joining us, which we haven't seen Hank in a long time. Going to cut the tape on the front, or I guess in this case it would be the back. We're going to open it up. We're going to open the first box, and then we're going to go from there. With all the Kidrobot releases, you're immediately greeted to a silver bag. Hi, silver bag. How are you? Inside, so we still really don't know what is the character inside until we finally make the cut of the bag. Opening it up gives us, and I want to just make sure there's no accessories in there. Sometimes Spot forgets that there's other accessories in there as well. I don't see anything. We've got ourselves Captain Diabetes. Oh, I love the humor of Kidrobot and South Park, really, actually, as well. Here's Captain Diabetes, slightly smaller of a character. He's armored up there with a big D on the front of his chest. He does have posability, just a little bit on the arms because he's got the armor on top of him. I wonder, I guess you could technically take the armor off. Let's see if we can actually take these off. Yeah, you could take the armor off if you wanted to. I don't know if that'd be the case with all of them, but you can certainly do that with Captain Diabetes. We'll go ahead and put his torso on back on there. Then he feels more like a true hero. There he is right there. Captain Diabetes. South Park. We'll just put him right over there. And let's open up box number 2. We'll start, maybe we'll go down rows. That sounds like a plan. It's good to have a plan. Can't just go in willy-nilly. Although I have at times gone in willy-nilly. Some successful, some less than successful. It's all a toss of the coin. Let's open up bag number 2. And bag number 2, of all things, gives us another Captain Diabetes. Oh, I wish I didn't have so much diabetes. There's actually 2 of them now. A double, if you will. A double to Captain Diabetes. We'll just put him over there. Box number 3. Go ahead and cut the seal on the front. I keep saying the front. It's only really because it's facing me that I call it the front. It's more so the back of the box. And we'll just open up the foil. If you're wondering where the majority of the box is going to go, yeah, it's on the floor. Right over there, on the floor. You can't see it. I like to keep the kitchen, so to speak, relatively clean. You know, at the side, though, it's just a mess. It's just an absolute mess. The next figure we have, just again making sure there's no accessories. Hello, any additional accessories are in there? No, nothing's in there. We've got ourselves Call Girl, which comes with us, well, comes included with, as you can see, some Cell phones and iPads and stuff like that all over her. Call girl. Oh, and there's also a little gamepad there on the side. Arm articulation once again. Head articulation as well. There is call girl. Love it. Most of these figures as well are either a 1 of 20 or 2 of 20. Some of the more harder to find ones, for example, well, there's obviously the question mark. Let's look at these quickly. Let's look at the odds, see what the odds are. If you want like the coon, for example, it's 3 in every 20 of them. So good chance of getting him. Most of these, again, 1 of 20 or 2 of 20. Trying to think of, well, Mint Berry Crunch is 3 out of 40, but still that's good chances of us getting him in this box as well. Let's cut the seal on the next one. Oh, I actually, oh, you know what? Let's put that back. I did say I was going to go by rows. Let's go back to that plan of action. I was going in willy-nilly there for a second, going with the second row. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking the wrong thing, I guess. Open up the next one, and the next one actually comes with an accessory. And make sure there's nothing in there. Nope. We've got ourselves the mosquito. I say I added the to the front of that, but it's just mosquito. And he comes with his little nose, his little mosquito nose. Go ahead and attach that to the front. There we go. And there is the mosquito. Again, I added the on the front of it. He's got a bunch of ketchup packets on his holster, if you want to call it a holster, or his little sash. And he's got mosquito wings taped to his back. I hate mosquitoes. Oh, I just hate mosquitoes so much. Again, he has arm articulation. His arm just popped off there. Just fix that. There we go. Arm articulation, and again, head articulation. Hate mosquitoes. Oh, so much. I hate mosquitoes. Starting the next row, if you're just tuning in now, thank you for coming in late, but it's okay. We're watching the Kidrobot, or looking at the Kidrobot, South Park, The Fractured But Whole vinyl mini-series. And Spot just threw the box on the floor. That is probably what you would have missed, me throwing boxes on the floor. But I basically just tell you that during the whole course of this video, usually I'll just say, yeah, I'm throwing it on the floor. Yeah, there goes another one on the floor. The next one we have is Mysterion. Again, like you can't really, this one you can't really take the head off. I mean, I guess you could take the cape off if you want to pop the head off. But you got a little question mark on the top there. A Mysterion. Love the underoos on the outside of the outfit. A nice touch. This one would have the same articulation, but like the arms are a little bit more limited because it's underneath the cape. Still, you can move the head though on Mysterion. Here's the back of the figure right there. I love the cape. I like how the cape's been sculpted. Here's Mysterion. Continuing with the next second row, grabbing the next box, open this up. Wow, what's that noise in the background? Yeah, throwing the box on the floor. That's where it's going, on the floor. The next one we have is Mysterion, another Mysterion. I like even how they sculpted the indication of a spring attaching to the question mark. I like that. Put Mysterion over there. Two Mysterions, two diabetes. Somebody's like, wait, what does Spot have? No, not me. Not me, but two diabetes in so far in the set. The next one gives us, making sure again no accessories in there. Nope. Gives us general disarray, indicated also by the fact it says G and D on the front of its torso. Head articulation, again, arm articulation. I love the silver in the goggles as well as the silver in the outfit. At the back there, curly red hair. Kind of looks like a coworker of mine. There's general disarray, which I might also add, if I compare it to diabetes, general disarray, a little bit smaller. Just a little bit smaller. Not that you could do the feelsies tests, because again, these are all in boxes, but just to show you the scale comparison. Let's grab the one into the back. Now I'm thinking, I wonder if like the coon is going to feel a little heavier because it's a bigger figure. Let's see if that is the case. Although, not that I'm remembering how heavy these are in each hand. Every time I've held one in hand, I don't have like a mental database of how heavy this said box was. Now this one does feel small though. but it only feels small now that I've got it out of the box. And what we have is another general disarray. Kidrobot always does a great job with paint. Paint on these guys, no exception. Let's start at the back. Now this one, speaking of weight, even though again I didn't retain in my mind how heavy the other boxes were, I can recall though, the other boxes didn't feel as heavy as this. So perhaps this is the Coon. Size-wise, definitely feels a little bit bigger as well. This is all great. This is all theory right now. We do the reveal, and the reveal, no accessories, the reveal gives us Cartman as the Coon. The Coon. I love how they've also given him a tail on the back there. Again, adds to his a little bit more of a girthier size. He's also got the cape with the C on the back there. The Coon. How does he stack up? Well, here he is next to General Disarray. Quite a bit bigger. And let's compare him with Diabetes. Right now, some mother's walking in or something, and she's thinking, sorry, what are you watching? Something about diabetes? No, they're just characters from South Park, Mom, is what the answer you should probably be giving her. So there's the Coon next to Diabetes. Good size. I love the Coon. He looks awesome. Also with his little double chin going on there. Good old Cartman. We'll put him right over there. All right, so I'm happy. We already have ourselves the Coon. This one also feels like it's heavy. Perhaps we have ourselves another Coon. Let's find out here. As the next box, oh, and I just dropped the bag. Let's not get too careless throwing boxes to the floor. We end up ultimately throwing down character bags as well. Yep, sure enough, we got ourselves another Coon. Or the Coon, to be exact. Coon. I'll put him right over there. I wonder if Kidrobot would ever entertain the idea of making these figures bigger. Specific characters, like if you want the blind box figures, of course they could be of one size. But let's say, for example, you wanted a really big Coon. Let's say maybe about like the size of a cantaloupe. I wonder if they would ever entertain the idea of making specific characters as much bigger pieces that you could have on a shelf. These are a good size, obviously for a collector if you're going to be collecting a lot of these, but I'm just talking, what if somebody wanted a big giant Coon, about this big? I wonder if they would ever do something like that. It's all just me throwing out ideas. That's my job, throw out ideas. Now, again, this one feels quite substantial. I'm trying to look at the list down below here of the characters. I don't see one that would really fit the bill of being a large figure other than Cartman. Cartman kind of stands out like a sore thumb, which I don't even know what that means, but thumbs kind of by nature stand out already because they're different than the rest of your hand. You have regular digits, all varying in sizes, but then the thumb pretty much stands out on its own. I don't need to have a sore thumb for it to stand out. It just stands out perfectly fine on its own. What are we talking about? We're talking about the Coon. Another third outing. This is the trilogy of Coon, as this is the third one that we've received. Which gives us, again, 3 of 20. 3 Coons per case of 20. Kidrobot was not lying. It's there. It's there. The proof in the pudding. Let's open up the next box. Now finishing off the second row, or actually the third row. You see, we've just been talking. We've been kind of going like this, and you didn't even know it. That's the sleight of hand. That's how magicians work. Gosh, I wish I was a magician. That would involve me going to magic school. I just don't have time for magic schools. The next one we have must be the question mark, because this is the glow-in-the-dark version of Mysterion, which down here I would have thought... I don't know what I would have thought. I guess the shape-wise, it's the same shape, although it doesn't have the cape. This is a glow-in-the-dark version of... There we go, just fix the question mark. A glow-in-the-dark version of Mysterion. Very cool. Oh, and also, sorry. Let me put it next to the regular Mysterion just so you can see the differences between the two. Almost the same lower outfit. The glow-in-the-dark version is slightly more pinker than this one right here. You can see the differences between the two characters. We'll put Mysterion over there. And you know what, let's just take a pause, take a moment of, not necessarily silence, but let's just gauge what we have gotten so far. We've gotten the question mark, which is the glow-in-the-dark Mysterion. We've gotten the Coon. We don't have Tool Shed yet. We do have Call Girl. We don't have Super Craig, so we're missing these two. And we also have Mosquito. On the back, on the other side, we don't have Human Kite. We don't have Professor Chaos, and we don't have Mint Berry Crunch, which I guess is what, 5? Are we missing 5? 1, 2, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are missing 5. And we have still actually, we have 8 still to go through. So chances are still pretty good. Opening up the next box. Again, this one feels a little bit smaller, but they'll all feel smaller compared to the Coon. We've got ourselves Mint Berry Crunch. Kind of has a two-face look to it. I like that. Still has the head articulation, little stem of the berry there, and arm articulation. Although this arm's a little bit more limited because it's got the leaves around the collar area. But there's Mint Berry Crunch. Put that over there. Grab the next box. Sorry, what? Yes, comic book store. Comic book store is your best bet for Kidrobot releases. At least the comic book store in my area has a ton of different Kidrobot things. And we've got ourselves Professor Chaos. Professor Chaos and Coon were probably my two favorites from wanting to get this set. These two specifically. I love the look of Professor Chaos. He just looks awesome. Good old Butters. Head articulation again, arm articulation. I know we've kind of touched base on articulation. I probably sound like I'm beating a dead horse. Why is that such a popular phrase? I don't like to beat any dead horses. I don't even like to beat regular horses, let alone dead horses. What's it accomplishing, I ask you? I ask the masses. Why do you need to beat a dead horse? It's dead. Just leave it alone. Just leave it be. It hopefully died natural causes, but don't go over there and start beating a dead horse. That's just gross. It's just a bunch of yuck. I said it. I'm sorry. Pardon my P's and Q's, but I said it. It's just a bunch of yuck. What did he say? Did he say yuck? I did. Just a bunch of yuck. We have Super Craig. Super Craig. Little S on his chest. I guess he's about the same size. Yeah, about the same size as the other characters. Of course, the notable exception. A lot smaller than Professor Chaos. And a whole lot smaller, or I guess a whole lot thinner than the Coon. And we are now coming up to the finish line. Well, still 4 to go, but we're coming close. We are getting there. We are making progress. As we open up the next box, gives us any ideas? Anybody want to take a guess? Maybe I'm going to say Human Kite. Human Kite. And not so much. Not so much. I should not be a fortune teller, as I would have guessed wrong. Somebody would have bought it thinking that it was the kite and it wasn't, and I would have gotten blamed for it. We have another Super Craig right there, Super Craig. Put him right over here. One good thing is the fact that you're getting 12 characters in this set. There's good possibilities for getting them. The hard part is when you have like a 20 figure set and there's 20 boxes. I mean, that plays things pretty close to the wire. And that's one thing I don't like doing, is playing close to the wire. I don't even know what that means either. Like if it's a real electrical wire, you don't even have to tell me that. I won't even play close to the wire. It kind of is a given to me. We have ourselves another Professor Chaos. Love his cape though. A little more of a softer plastic, but I love the cape. Another Professor Chaos. We pretty much have, I'm just kind of looking over here, most, if not all the characters, except for Call Girl, most of them, and Mosquito, most of them have already been doubled up at least. Some tripled up, but most of them have been at least doubled up. It would be impossible to accomplish this, but we could have almost gotten ourselves a second set. I know, that doesn't make any sense, but you know what? Hopefully you know what I mean. Next we have the kite. You can see how the kite is actually attached. I love this one. The kite's attached to the neck area. You get a little kite string there with some bows. There is the kite. I might even say this is one of my favorites too from the set, the kite. Just absurd names. Down to 2, my friends, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're down to 2. What do you think they're going to be? We're still missing Tool Shed. I think he's the only one that we don't have yet, is Tool Shed. This one feels a little heavier, but what do I know? What do I know? I'm just the guy that's opening these boxes. You guys watch. I'm just the guy that's doing all the work. Let's see what we got. This one feels like, you can almost see the way it's shaped. I feel like this could be another kite. May or may not be right by that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's find out. It is. It is another kite. Ha, I told you. We have another kite right there. The kite. Not the most heroic of names, but still the kite. Well, guys, there is the final box right there. Kidrobot. Kidrobot right there. The Fractured But Whole vinyl mini figure series. I hopefully enjoyed this as we open up the final box. Final box. Let me know down below. Actually, I should wait because we still have Tool Shed to get. I'll wait. I'll wait to say what I was going to say. What was Spot going to say? You'll have to wait. Don't quote me on that, but you'll have to wait. Somebody puts down below quotation marks. You'll have to wait. Spot. Don't quote me on that. That's a quote I don't need to be quoted on. Lastly, we have ourselves some accessories. Yes. We got ourselves Tool Shed, and Tool Shed comes with what looks to be a pair of power drills that you can put into his hand. The goggles are not removable. You can quote me on that. The goggles are not removable. He comes with a tool belt, which looks like it's got a measuring tape on it, a hammer, several different wrenches. I think I like this guy as well. Now, the thing I was going to ask you, pose to you, the viewers out there, is what is your favorite figure from this set? Let me know down below. Let me know down below. But let's run through this together so that you guys can see all the figures that were in the set. We got ourselves Tool Shed, which came with 2 drills. I just didn't open them, but you can see that little 2 drills that would go in his hand. We got ourselves Tool Shed. We got ourselves Kite. We actually did get 2 of the Kite right there. We got ourselves Super Craig. Got 2 of those. The very popular Coon. We got 3 of those. So if you're a fan of Cartman and the Coon, you'd be in luck. Your chances, I think, would be fairly favorable in your favor. That's a lot of favor things you just said in that sentence. We got the very rare, what now looks to be the very rare Mosquito, which was 1 of 20. So you only had 1 of these in the 20 boxes. Let's see here. We got Mysterion. We got 2 of those. We got the glow-in-the-dark version of Mysterion. 1 of those. And we had a couple of Professor Chaos. 2 to be exact. Professor Chaos. Spot had diabetes. Let me rephrase that. I actually had 2 diabetes in this box. 2 of them. We had 2 of General Disarray. 2 of those. Only 1 Mint Berry Crunch right there. Quite like that one as well. 1 Call Girl. You asked me, that's 1 too many. 1 Call Girl right there. And again, a lot of just doubles. We got mostly doubles, multitude, again, 3 Cartmans. As already mentioned, 2 Super Craigs, 2 General Disarrays, 2 Kites, 2 Professor Chaos, Spot beating a dead horse, 2 diabetes, and so on. Again, we were today looking at, let's grab one of the boxes. There we go. We're looking today at the Kidrobot. This was the South Park, the Fractured But Whole minifigure collection. And Spot was looking at an entire case. Yay, entire case. Certainly stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more videos heading your way. As always, thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.